Hello everybody, Blue Dooley, and today we're actually going to be working on the Grand Hauler, but I have the snowplow sitting here so I can give you a little bit of an update on that. And actually, now that I got the Grand Hauler out here next to the snowplow, it didn't turn out a lot taller than I thought it was going to be. It actually scales pretty good with the Grand Hauler. We'll bring the camera around and kind of show you the height difference between the tires on the snowplow and on the Grand Hauler. But we're actually going to get started on the trailer. I'm going to build a live bottom or a belt bottom commodity trailer that's pretty common around here. It'll be a quad axle setup, and I still need to add my lift axle to the Grand Hauler. The Grand Hauler has a new light control unit and a sound unit. We'll get into that later, probably not this video. This video we're mainly just going to be kind of rough cutting and shaping the trailer, and then kind of showing you what I'm going for. Once it comes together a little bit, you'll actually probably understand it a little better. But I did kind of want to get a side-by-shot with the snowplow and the Grand Hauler to show that even though the snowplow is 6-wheel drive and running on kind of a big tire, it's still actually pretty scale with the 14th scale semi stuff. So the trailer is also a little taller than what I'm thinking is, but this is poster board, so cardboard aided design. You'll be able to see that the snowplow isn't much taller than the cab of the Grand Hauler. In fact, it's about even with the sleeper. So that comes out pretty good. We'll come down here and roll that forward a little bit. Right down in there, and you'll notice that the tires aren't much bigger on the snowplow, like a couple millimeters at most. So pretty happy with the way that turned out. My fifth wheel, we're still going to mount it further forward from the stock position. I'll move my trailer out of the way, because as it sits, the Tamiya fifth wheel is actually a little bit behind the center there. I actually have the mount flipped backwards. So where it's going to live now is it's going to be mounted in front of the center of the suspension, which will actually push down on the steer axle so the truck turns better. My lift axle isn't actually going to carry any weight really. But this is kind of the shape of the commodity trailer we're going for. It's got a little bit of a V-hull in it, and there's a big belt that runs down from front to back of the trailer for hauling spuds and sugar beets. So as I said, it's a little bit tall, I think. I'm probably going to cut it down a ½ inch and run with that. And then scale 53 foot trailer would be 3'8", and that might look a little long, so I'm thinking I might just run the trailer at 3.5 feet. That'll make it just a little shorter of what scale, and I think it'll look good proportionally. So I got a new cutter, and we're actually going to cut out this sheet metal here. The piece is 4 feet long, so I just need to figure out how much I need to trim out of here. And it is 22 gauge sheet metal. So when I get this bent into shape, it'll actually hold all the weight, and everything that's kind of structural on the trailers will just be more for looks, because this will be plenty thick enough when it's bent up, it won't flex. So I'm gonna fire up my new cutter. I'm not gonna film that because it's gonna be noisy as hell. Now ideally what you want for bending metal is a metal brake, or something a little better than lumber. But since I have a wood workbench and a nice piece of 2x6, I drew my line for my bend, and clamped it really tight to my workbench so I can press down, and this piece will keep it from bowing, hopefully in the middle weird. So we can knock these two bends out real quick, and then we'll have to get it by the truck to kind of figure out where we want the rest of our bends. Point you here and bend some sheet metal. Hopefully. It's not going to be as sharp as a bend as I would like. Because I'm not pushing close enough to the workbench itself. So I might need to get me a hammer, because the ends are good, but here in the middle it's kind of bowed out a little bit. That's going to be obnoxious, so we're going to turn you off and come back. Okay, the lighting is not great, but we got the two bends in the bottom. So now we have kind of a V with a flat bottom. It is sitting where I want it on the fifth wheel. Why am I pointing over there? Point over there. The fifth wheel. And then I got it sitting up on some tires at the back. So the trailer length from end to end is 3 feet 6 inches, and with the overall length, I'm actually really happy with the way that scales out. The level is 4 feet long, so we'll come down here and you can see that the tractor is just a little bit longer than the level, but overall I'm pretty happy with the way with the overall length. Now the hard part I'm going to have to figure out is where on here I need to bend to make these vertical. So as you can see right now, it's a not exactly pretty bends by any stretch of the imagination, but I think the one thing I want people to take away from my channel is you don't need absolutely all the tools ever made to build stuff. So you can kind of hand fab just about anything if you have a little bit of patience and a couple of basic tools and a good straight edge. So I'll fiddle with that a little bit. I think I'll actually look at it from the back and kind of line up on the cab here somewhere where I'm going to put these other bends. I'll walk in front of my light source. There, as you can see, that's right here's where the belt's going to run, and I'll have to trim the ends a little bit in because the belt actually hangs out a little longer than the back of the trailer. You up a little bit. So at this point I'm kind of going off of what looks good. I have an idea in my head. I'm not going after a particular trailer manufacturer, but the basic shape I'm going to eyeball, get it to where it looks good to me, and then I can get to the nitty-gritty of detailing it out. But yeah, there is currently no flex in this at all, so I'm happy with that. All right, my bends didn't come out quite even, but as I said earlier, it doesn't have to be perfect for you to enjoy doing it. So here's what we got so far. We got all of the bends on the trailer, and I actually have my lift axle placement just about where it needs to be. So the truck will be quad axle, and then the trailer is also going to be quad axle. This one and this one will both lift. These two are a regular set of tandems. So as we step back, with the trailer tires in position, it kind of gives it a lot better scale as to how long it is. I'm really happy with the way the overall length came out. My one cuts kind of go a little up and down wavy on the one edge, so that'll need to be cleaned up. And as I mentioned, my bend's not quite 100% even, but we'll get you over here. So there's that. Basic shape is going to stay the same. I'll need to clean up my bends a little bit, straighten out some edges a little, but overall really happy with the way this thing's turning out. So what I'll also have to do is I'll have to cut a little bit of an angle here and then cut up, because this very tail end of the belt needs to hang out past the end of the body. So that's this tire placement might not be 100% correct. So it'll kind of line up off of the tail and this lift axle, and then I'll space everything out going forward. There'll need to be a ladder right about here in the middle, and then I'm going to do some external supports like the real trailers have. So just kind of a quick video. I really kind of wanted to knock this out as the weekend this video comes out. We're starting on work on the dually. So yeah, lots of exciting stuff coming up, and we will get back to the snowplow. In fact, we can come over here to the messy corner of the garage. And I have a coat of primer on the snowplow, the actual plow. So that's going to do it for this video. As always, if you enjoy my content, be sure to subscribe so you can see more of it, and be sure to drop me a like click to let me know which videos you like particularly, and we will catch you in the next video.